This is 17 News with continuing coronavirus coverage.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Gitsky. Governor Gavin Newsom is streaming live every day at noon to provide an update on the coronavirus crisis here in our state. Now, today he will be talking about the state's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and we will bring him to you as soon as he is available. In the meantime, let's go to the latest on the coronavirus here in Kern County. There has now been one more death, making the total number of deaths here in Kern County 6. Now, here's how the numbers stand. There are 875 positive cases and 484 people have made full recoveries. That's more than half of the total cases. Now, here's how the testing breaks down across Kern County. More than 6,300 of those tests have come back negative. More than 3,600 tests are awaiting results. Now, here's how those cases are spread across the county. 104 in the Valley region, 255 in Bakersfield West, 468 in Bakersfield East, 21 in the mountain areas, and 18 in the desert regions. Now, it is important to note that while the region Bakersfield East has a lot more cases than any other region, it also has a much bigger population. And two local doctors who say it's time to reopen the economy and lift the stay-at-home orders are getting national attention. Dr. Dan Erickson and Dr. Artin Massini, the owners of Accelerated Urgent Care, appeared on Fox News show this week defending their opinions. But several experts disagree with the science behind their claims. Channel 17 News heard from medical experts, even historians who say the doctor's claims just don't check out. The American College of Emergency Physicians and the American Academy of Emergency Medicine condemned the doctor's state comments, saying they are, quote, inconsistent with current science and epidemiology regarding the COVID-19. As owners of local urgent care clinics, it appears these two individuals are releasing biased, non-peer-reviewed data to advance their personal financial interests without regard for the public's health. Well, happening today, the Wonderful Company is handing out 1.6 million of its wonderful Halo mandarins to Central Valley Hospital, schools, and food banks. Now, the company says they want people who are working on the front lines who are in need to have a fresh, locally grown, healthy snack. They'll give Halos to Bakersfield Memorial Hospital, the Kern County School District, Wasco Elementary School District, Community Action Partnership of Kern, and more. And also today, several local groups need your help to serve our community's most vulnerable citizens. The Board of Realtors, Christian Real Estate Fellowship, Christmas for Seniors, and City Serve all teamed up to make it happen. The group says they have plenty of volunteers. Now, what they need is non-perishable foods and toiletries. They're looking for potatoes, carrots, bread, lettuce, canned food, pet food, paper products, and cleaning supplies. Now, you can drop those items off every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1431 L Street. Now, if you are a senior in need of supplies, you can call Christmas for Seniors at 703-8893 or the Realtors Group at 809-5260. Stay with us. We're back after this.
All right, we've seen some warm temperatures. We've got some clouds moving in as well. Currently, Arvin at 88 degrees on the temperature. Wasco at 86. Some high clouds pushing on into the area. And partly cloudy out of Frazier Park. And they're currently sitting at 79. 87 in Bakersfield right now under a calm wind. As we take a look at the almanac overnight, we were at 65, so well above the normal of 53. Normal high today, 79. We'll be above that. And 100, the record set back in 1981. Your sunset tonight at 7:41. So here's a look at other temperatures, and we're running into the 80s in all valley locations. And we've got 70s and 80s into the mountains, and where we're finding the heat is up into Ridgecrest. Currently 97. They're on their way up to 100 this afternoon. And this morning we talked about the high clouds that would continue to drift on in here, and that'll be the case for the rest of our day and into tonight as we watch this weak front push through California. It's not going to bring rain, but it will bring some cooler air heading into tomorrow. But in the meantime, we're looking at upper 70s for Sacramento, 93 in Fresno today, 70s down to the south, Vegas at 96, and Phoenix, Arizona, they're feeling the heat at 104 this afternoon. It's all because the ridge has shifted a little to the east of us, allowing for this trough to make its way inland And again, all we're going to see is some high clouds with it and cooler weather by tomorrow, and it looks like the cooler weather will hang around. Increasing clouds the rest of today, 94 in Bakersfield, 95 in Delano, 92 in Taft. For the mountains and the Kern River Valley, increasing clouds here as well, but warm, 83 in Frazier Park. Bear Valley, you're at 80 today, 92 Lake Isabella, 89 in Weldon. And the desert, we're looking for increasing clouds and 92 in Mojave. There you go, Ridgecrest, 100 degrees this afternoon, so definitely hot. And we take a look at the extended forecast. Tomorrow, we're going to trim you back into the upper 80s, and then we're down from there into the weekend, lower 80s. Monday, 79, but there are indications by Tuesday and Wednesday next week those temperatures will climb again. Tomorrow in the mountains, 72, then you're back into the 60s. Friday through Monday. Friday and Saturday, a little bit breezy, and then for the Kern River Valley, lower 80s tomorrow, and then you're in the 70s Friday through Monday. So just one day here, we have to deal with the heat. We'll have more news coming up right after the break.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back. Time now is 12:25 in your 17 Business Watch. Best Buy will experiment with letting shoppers back in some stores. It will open 200 locations around the country next month for people who make appointments for in-store consultations to buy appliances or electronics. And they'll be required to wear masks and gloves and have temperature checks before their shifts. Best Buy has been offering curbside pickup and online delivery since shutting stores in March. Starbucks hopes to have 90% of its stores back open by early June with modified service. That's according to a report in Nation's Restaurant News. Right now, half of Starbucks U.S. stores are closed. The chief operating officer said 30 stores will reopen as a trial with no seating inside. After evaluating how that goes, other stores will follow suit. More curbside pickup is in the works, and Starbucks will begin pushing out its new spring beverages that were delayed by the pandemic as early as next week. A Bollywood icon dies after battling a rare cancer. How his legacy will be remembered coming up.
Bollywood is mourning the loss of an icon. Irfan Khan, known for his roles in Slumdog Millionaire and Life of Pi, died on Wednesday. Now, according to PR firm Hardly Anonymous Communications, Khan was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer in 2018. And the firm issued a statement saying Khan fought till the very end and always inspired everyone who came close to him. Now, he is survived by his wife and 2 children. Khan was 53 years old. Now, if you happen to be out stargazing with a telescope this morning, you might have seen it. An asteroid passed close by Earth. Now, the asteroid 1998 OR2 flew safely past Earth just before 3 o'clock this morning, according to NASA. Now, when NASA said it passed close by, they really mean about 4 million miles away, which is close enough to be seen with the telescope, but not so close as to pose any danger. NASA says it's been tracking this asteroid for 20 years. Well, back here at home in your 17 Crime Watch, the coroner says a man found dead in his pickup truck in Lamont earlier this month was shot in the back. The body of 54-year-old David Gonzalez Olmos was found on April 11th on Comanche Drive, just south of Panama Road. The discovery was made after someone called to report a car crash. KCSO says they have no information on the suspect. They're asking anyone if you have information to come forward. You can call KCSO at 861-3110 or Secret Witness at 322-4040. And Bakersfield police need your help tracking down a man wanted in connection to a criminal threat investigation. It happened on February 25th on South 8th Street near Ming Avenue. He is described as a Hispanic male, roughly 5'6", 160 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Now, he was last seen wearing a plaid shirt, blue jeans, and a black backpack. If you know where he is, you were asked to contact BPD at 327-7111. And the Kern County Sheriffs Office has arrested a man they believe is behind multiple armed robberies in the area of Fairfax Road and Niles Street. On Saturday, deputies arrested 18-year-old Davion West at a home on Normandy Drive. Police say on April 10th, he's accused of robbing the Yoshinoya restaurant on Niles Street at gunpoint. Now, they say he then fired several shots at a witness who was following him. He's also accused in carjacking outside. Now, the Little Caesars Pizza on Niles, April 23rd, and deputies say he robbed the Burger King on Niles Street last Friday, the 24th. He faces several charges, including attempted murder, robbery, and gang participation. And Chapter police are investigating after they found a man dead in a makeshift marijuana extraction lab. Crews were first called to the area of Woodbrook Drive, just north of 7th Standard Road, around 4:30 yesterday for reports of a man dead at a home. When they got there, they found 2,400 edible marijuana products and 1,000 pounds of marijuana in different stages of production. 3 people at the home were detained and the lab was disassembled. And a group of local attorneys and business owners say their constitutional rights are being violated by that stay-at-home order meant to stop the spread of COVID-19. Now, the group sent a letter to the County Board of Supervisors. In it, the group cites an order by Kern Public Health, which called for the closing of all bars, wineries, and other businesses that serve alcohol but not food, as well as all closings of gyms and fitness centers and the ban of all public or private gatherings. The group says the order violates the First and Fifth Amendments because it deprives property owners of the right to earn a living and people the right to gather. Well, Taft City Council has unanimously approved a plan allowing some businesses to reopen next Monday, May 4th, but now that may not happen. The plan calls for a recognition that some businesses listed as non-essential are indeed critical to society. Late Tuesday, Kern County Public Health notified the city that the lockdown remains in effect there and throughout the county, and they will not be permitted to open.
We still have some things to work out as far as putting those protocols into place, remembering that the intent of the letter was to ask Kern County Health to assist us in developing those business processes and protocols. It would appear by their response, they're not interested in that whatsoever. So now we're going to have to take another look at it, as they have deemed it unnecessary to actually help us with that.
Now, according to the mayor, it is unclear if businesses will reopen on Monday. He says while the plan will help the city hurting from the closure of the Taft Correctional Institution and the collapse of oil, he wants to make clear it is in no way a complete reopening of Taft. Governor Gavin Newsom is getting ready to speak. Now let's take it over to him and hear what he has to say today.
California is struggling. Those that are just doing takeout, struggling to keep those doors open. Others struggling to keep tabs on their employees that are now on unemployment. Others that haven't even imagined the prospect of being able to even open modestly for takeout. We have seniors. Millions of seniors in the state of California, many with no access to nutritious food, no access to prepared meals, no capacity at home, if isolated, to even prepare those meals in the first place. And so we advanced a framework to begin the process of reopening restaurants to start to provide those meals, 3 meals a day, delivered, packaged, prepared, delivered to the doorstep of seniors all throughout the state of California. That program now is just starting to take shape in cities and counties, large and small, all across the state. The state of California put out the framework, and it's the city's responsibility to engage the restaurants and work through the protocols. We've seen cities like LA and others really excel in this space, and we're very encouraged by this program. In that same spirit, in that same framework of collaboration and partnership, today we're announcing a strategy to do the same around food, but now focusing on farms to families, focusing on the issues that obviously are front and center all across the nation, and that's issues of food banks and how we could do more to help support our farmers, help support farm workers, and also help support food banks here in the state of California. This new initiative that we're launching today is a partnership between the federal government, the state of California, and philanthropy. It's a strategy that's rather simple. Currently, our farmers, our ranchers, are experiencing about a 50% reduction in demand, which is a jaw-dropping reduction in demand. They have excess produce, they have excess commodities that they simply, in many respects, as perishable items, some of them, they cannot distribute. We have food banks that have, on the average, seen a 73% spike in demand. Here we are, breadbasket, the world, California, and we want to address that mismatch. We want to address the supply and the demand. And so that's the announcement today, to work with the ranchers, to work with the farmers, to connect them to the food banks, and do so in a way that jumpstarts our capacity to deliver nutritious food, high quality, locally produced produce, poultry and dairy and the like to those most in need in the state of California. The partnership currently has about 128 farmers and ranchers providing food to 41 food banks being distributed in 58 counties. The goal of this announcement is to provide 21 million pounds of fresh food and fresh produce on a monthly basis, 20 to 21 million pounds of fresh produce and other commodities to our food banks. We've raised some $3.6 million to jumpstart this program. We want to extend this program through the end of the year. And we're blessed to have philanthropy, including Kat Taylor, who's been passionate in this space. She is committed to raising some $15 million. She initiated a contribution to that end to help get this partnership in place and help us launch it. But it is that partnership between our federal government, between state agencies, between philanthropy, and then our farmers and our farm workers that will pick and pack and distribute this fresh produce and these other commodities to our food banks. We are very excited and enlivened by this program, and I want to thank, and I'll introduce her in a moment, our Secretary of Agriculture, Karen Ross, who's helped spearhead this effort and advanced this cause and brought some of the biggest brands in the agricultural community to the forefront, from Foster Farms to California Rice Association, the National Dairy Association, and bringing Grimway and others, Sunkist and the citrus side, Pacific Producers, a partnership out here on the Pacific Coast, even doing fruit bowls and the like. Again, all of this in the spirit of collaboration to provide these new food packs to families in need. I can assure you, you look back on the last recession, you would not have seen these food packs with so many nutritious items, perishable items, and other items that were locally produced and immediately distributed. So we're very excited about this. It's the spirit that finds the best of California and a spirit that certainly, I hope, will enliven people all across the state of California. I want to just mention those that are on the front lines in terms of our food banks and the incredible pressure they're facing. I stated a few weeks back that we contributed, because of the support of the legislature, the Assembly, and the Senate, Democrats and Republicans, supporting our food banks. We were able to distribute $20 million of an emergency grant to our food banks to enhance and advance our efforts in terms of providing these food boxes to families in need. We also announced that the National Guard, the first mission the National Guard advanced during this pandemic, was a humanitarian mission to support our food banks. We also worked in collaborative spirit with partners like AmeriCorps that have done an amazing job, Team Rubicon that's done the same, Cal Volunteers, all in an effort to subsidize not only the increase in demand, but the decrease in volunteers at our food banks when this pandemic took shape. They have substantially addressed a lot of those issues. It's not by any stretch perfect, and I will, as always, ask on you, to the extent you are available to help support that cause, to volunteer your time and attention through our CaliforniansForAll.ca.gov website, because the food banks still need more volunteers. But I want to acknowledge the partnerships that have been advanced, particularly between those four organizations, the National Guard as the original anchor, and AmeriCorps, Team Rubicon, and Cal Volunteers are really helping support the distribution of food for those most in need. So connecting California's farms, farm workers, connecting to the cause of our food banks, getting product and produce that otherwise would literally be thrown away as waste, and now providing a tax credit to the farmers of 15%, and providing a wage to the farm workers, and getting philanthropy to help support this and getting those federal dollars drawn down that otherwise would not be drawn down is the spirit of the announcement today. But there are two other components that I want to share as well. We got two waivers from the federal government. One waiver is rather significant. The Calfresh program, our SNAP, our food stamp program, Calfresh program can now today provide access to commodities online. So if you have a Calfresh debit card, you can now go online and utilize Calfresh at scale. We start with just two partners for the moment, and that's Amazon and Walmart. And so that's just for the moment, Amazon, Walmart, but now you can shop online with Calfresh. We want to expand those partnerships beyond Walmart and Amazon. I'll announce that when those partnerships are available, but currently we are affording this because of that waiver to everybody in the state of California. And I say everybody, it's about 2.2 million households, a little over 4 million people that now can avail themselves to access that opportunity online today as well. The second waiver that I wanted to mention, the third announcement of the day, is also a rather significant one. Because of the work of Speaker Nancy Pelosi and others, we were successful in being the beneficiary and the recipient of a pandemic EBT program. We were able to work with our federal partners on an additional waiver for this program to provide up to $365 additional dollars, an additional $365 available under this pandemic EBT program for children and families that otherwise would have gotten the benefit of reduced or free breakfast and lunch in our public school system. Because we shut down the schools, still doing learning, distance learning at home, but the physical schools are shut down. Those meals, with a universe of roughly 3.8 million children that are eligible for those programs are not providing, in every case, those meals. And so this pandemic EBT program will make available a universe of up to $1.4 billion for 3.8 million eligible families. Again, that's the universe of possible to begin to utilize those dollars from that CARES Act to advance their nutritional needs. So we think that's a significant thing. I couldn't be more pleased and proud of the work that Kim Johnson's done at Department of Social Services to help organize and set up that program. The framework for that eligibility is about a 64-day period from March to middle of June. But the universe of available dollars is rather large, and we just want to make sure it's socialized, and we're doing everything in our power to get that information out there and, of course, encourage others that may know people that fall into that category of being eligible for free or reduced breakfast and lunch programs to know that these dollars are available for them through the EBT program, and we're going to do our best to get them in people's pockets because we deeply recognize people's food insecurity, not just their economic insecurity, and we don't want to exacerbate that to the extent we can. So partnerships in our food banks, partnerships with our farms and ranchers, partnerships with local producers to help local food banks, partnerships in terms of philanthropy and volunteers, people doing more to create more access and opportunity, not just in person, but now also online to draw down eligible dollars, federal dollars in the Calfresh program, and now this broader waiver for our kids in public schools. And so I'm very proud and very pleased to be able to make these announcements today. It's the spirit of our times, the spirit of California. What often takes a year, now we need to do in months. What takes a month, we now need to do in weeks. What takes weeks, we need to do in days. And what we used to do in days, we need to do in hours. And I recognize every day I come here making announcements also following up on previous announcements and metrics and marking moments. I realize it can be overwhelming, but that's the moment we're living in. You can't just do one thing at a time. You've got to do many things at a time. And we're dealing with a pandemic. We're dealing with a crisis. It requires a focus. It requires an intentionality. It requires people doing things they never imagined possible, even just 2 months ago. I'm just incredibly proud of everybody doing what they can. As we say.
You just heard the latest from Governor Gavin Newsom. Now, if you remember last week, he was talking about getting seniors the food they need, especially right now, and that also would be a way of reopening restaurants. Now, he did touch on that, and one of the biggest things he talked about today was connecting farmers to the system. They want to support farmers, support food banks, and through that, they will be using farmers. They've had a 50% reduction in demand right now. Well, food banks have seen a 75% spike throughout this time, so they're going to be working in partnership there. They want to be able to deliver high quality local food to all these who need it. Now, also, he did mention that so far they have 128 farmers or ranchers, and they have 41 food banks in the system now. That's throughout 58 counties. Now, they want to be able to have 21 million pounds of food to feed. That is per month. And now they had $3.6 million raised so far, and they want to extend this program through the end of the year. Now, another thing that Governor Newsom did mention is he talked about 2 waivers. Now, the Calfresh program, as of today, people who use Calfresh can go online to be ordering foods. Right now, there is just partnerships with Amazon and Walmart, but that will continue expanding. And another thing he did mention is they are going to be providing an additional $365 through the pandemic EDT. Now, that is for families or children who rely on that reduced lunches or free meals, free breakfast or lunches through the schools, and they are trying to get that to them. Now, you can continue watching Governor Newsom's whole live stream on our Facebook page and on our website, kget.com.
This is 17 News with continuing coronavirus coverage.